Hey, hey. Hi. Give me a second. Hi. Alright, lowering the sound. It's been a while since I last streamed Umineko. Like a week. About a week. So that has been a long period of time. Give me a second to check. I accidentally buttoned my mic, I'm sorry. Hi, Macro. What's up, Macro? Hi, Yaya. Welcome, Yaya. Welcome to Umineko. Yumi Peak, that's false, Let's set things straight. Umineko is not peak, Umineko is mid at best. Alright, I'll stop rage baiting. We'll see how many people fall for the rage bait. Umineko is so good. I've been really enjoying it. That's for sure. Alright, here we go. I gotta reset things properly. Here we go. Give me a second. I completely fucked up the chat because I completely modified everything for Tuhu, right? So now things look wrong. Okay, perfect. Things work. Perfect. Here we go. Alright. So... Where's... I fucked up. Where's the game? Here we go. So, last time, if I'm not wrong, we stopped mid-dialogue? God, I spent 50 hours streaming this. Wow. That's a lot of hours. That is a lot of time, especially considering I'm only in episode 2. Okay. Every time I see this hour count, I get jump scared. Here we go. Okay. Let's see where we were at. No, the scene has ended and we were in the kitchen. Right. So what happened last scene? I think they were in the study? Oh, okay, so... Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember at all. Awkward? Yeah, he was wondering about things and then we teleported in the kitchen. Alright. Alright. Let me reload because I accidentally skipped. Okay, so there were 5 humans in the kitchen, but it was very quiet, filled only with the sounds of the rain. It was only accented by the sound of Shannon and Kumasawa washing the dishes. Goda was using the leftovers from breakfast and lunch as ingredients for a soup. Rosad suspected that poison might have been added to the food, so they decided that to eat canned goods, but it hadn't been too satisfying. But Goda thought she was being too cautious. So, he was spontaneously creating a soup to be served only to those who wanted some. Shannon and Kumasawa were rushing the dishes that the food had been arranged on. I don't think there's gonna be any poison inside the soup, right? Things like the Twilights require gouging limbs before killing. So, that would be weird for it to be poison. And every time, like, okay, no, every time people are like, oh, she's being too cautious, she's being too cautious. But like, there's like, at this point, 8 people who died. 8 people. And you're telling me you're being too cautious. Alright, well, the good eye is being dumb. Wait, here we go. Shannon and Kumasawa were washing the dishes that the food had been arranged on. On the inside, they thought maybe Goda should wash them, since he'd been the one who wanted the food arranged on plates in the first place. But they left their complaints unsaid for the time being. Genji and Nanjo were facing each other across a crude chess set that had many years of experience. The same scenario as last time, I think. The game had still only just begun. And, because the opening of those experienced players had been owned to perfection, it looked like a ceremony where they just moved specific pieces in a specified order. That's a nice aroma. You wouldn't get this from canned food. It was made only from sealed ingredients, so there won't be any poison mixed in. I am making enough for everybody, so please, eat. Of course, I will also taste for poison. Please feel secure and eat. That really is a nice aroma. Uda-san, the food you cook really is delicious. Being able to create delicious food when you buy delicious ingredients is oddly special. My master taught me a true cook needs to perfect their ability to make delicious food from whatever is on hand. That doesn't seem right? That does not seem right. That was a good master. Thanks to him, it looks like we'll get to enjoy some truly delicious soup. Although it is a shame that it was made from ingredients intended for all of the family members to eat. I'm sure Rosa-san is tired after everything that happened this morning. Even shit ingredients can make great dishes. True! True, that's exactly what Goda is thinking. It reminds me of the, like, processed meme, the one where, like, it's a fucking slab of frozen deli meat. Thank God this does not exist in France. But, like, looking at this thing fills me with dread. It is the worst fucking thing anyone could ever look at, let alone conceive. But, like, how the hell did anyone actually manage to do this? Wait. I'm not bothering to download the high quality. I'm speaking about this, right? This deli meat. How the hell does anyone want to buy this? The thing is, this was not made. This wouldn't be made if people wouldn't buy it, right? This just would not be made. Concrete block butter and tofu. Can you believe this if I tell you that it is just straight up? Wait, what? Wait. It looks like... Is the chat at the top right not working? Wait. Wait. What? That's the meat thing we don't buy proper sliced deli meat. Okay. Okay, never mind, it works. I just had to refresh it. Never mind. Alright. Let me recenter things. Here we go. We buy proper sliced deli meat. I mean, it's still essentially the same thing. I would not buy deli meat. It looks awful. Never mind, actually, I looked at pictures. That looks like a slice of ham. Doesn't look that bad. Anyways, let's move on. I'm sure Rosa-san is tired after everything that happened this morning. It is only natural. But thanks to that, we get to drink some soup from delicious ingredients. Rosat fervently warned everyone that they didn't understand the danger they were in, that they must assume that poison was mixed in with the food. The mood at the time had led them to agree. How spoiled are these people that, like, they see canned food and they're like, ugh, no, blah, ugh. Instead of, you know, just eating canned food for a day before they're actually able to leave. Just in case the murderer is, you know, a murderer. What is wrong with them? They're just like super spoiled rich people. It's crazy. Yeah, rich people moment. Like, no, not even that. Kumasawa is like a working class servant. So why is she like, oh, I can't eat canned food? Canned food is too expensive. It's too untasty. It tastes terrible. What? No, I would not eat poor people food. Crazy. Meanwhile, the murderer is popping off. It's like they're all voluntarily going to eat. I don't know, probably gonna put like sleeping pills in it, right? And the government's like, oh yeah, we can't put poison because we need the toilet. No, they can't just put sleeping pills in it. They put sleeping pills in it, and then suddenly, it is that much easier to kill everyone else, right? Nothing about the Twilight implied that they need to like be perfectly able to fight off the assailants. No, we can't every Hiroshima. Yeah, no, clearly. Only Natsu and Rosa like showed common sense so far. It's quite crazy. Anyways, the moon at the time had led them to agree, but hunger wasn't something that could be swayed by a momentary emotion like that. Ironically, we've ended up with a suit that normally wouldn't be able to save her. If possible, I would like to serve it to everyone in the parlor, but saying that it would violate Rosa-sama's instructions, you had best give up on that idea. It's enough that only those who want to eat it do so. Skillfully taking a breather when no one's looking is also an important skill for a servant, isn't it? When Kurosawa cut, Shannon and Goda left too. It seemed that, in the space where only their fellow servants were gathered, they could relax quite a bit. Shannon didn't like Goda's occasional dishonesty, but she knew that there was no falsehood in his childish smile when he cooked, nor in his desire for people to enjoy his food. So even though it was a little aggravating to be made to wash the dishes, she couldn't really eat them. However, they couldn't have dreamed that Rosa was calling them wolves in the parlor at exactly the moment they were spending their time peacefully like this. Why did it suddenly cut to black? Something bad happened. Yeah, at that time, several of the servants heard a sound like something being dragged, and then a thump. It seemed like the sound made by a servant outside the back door when they were carrying a mountain of trash bags on a rainy day. Or maybe when a servant was returning from work wearing a raincoat. So at first, that sound didn't seem like anything out of the ordinary to them. But they soon realized, right now, everyone was either in the kitchen or in the parlor. So who could possibly be at the back door? There's the music popping off. As the servants all looked at each other, they checked to make sure that each one of them knew what that sound meant. Who could it be? The servants knew the mansion's layout well, so they understood how incomprehensible it would be for someone from the parlor to actually go outside in this typhoon. Gonna screenshot that. Go all the way around and come back to this back door. Okay, that's good to know. Wait. That's good to know. I'm gonna note it down. I guess the best way to represent this on the map would be like, yeah, something like this, something as simple as this, right? I take this. Why is it doing this, by the way? Oh, okay, I just had to turn off minimize the ribbon. So like, let's say the parlor is here, right? That's already how I've been picturing it anyways. Let's put some text. Make it smaller. And then here. Is the back door, right? Like, that makes sense. And then I would assume, right, that the servant's kitchen is probably like around here, right? I'm not gonna put the servant's kitchen because we don't know yet. Ah, fuck it, I'll pull it. I can just, like, erase it if it's wrong. Here we go. So that way I can actually, like, picture and remember later on that it is impossible for them to, like, turn back around and do this. And was it Kinzo? They couldn't imagine that Kinzo, who never left his study, would dash out into the middle of this typhoon and come to the back of the house where only low-class people ever entered or exited. That wasn't our imagination, was it? Ken and Kumasawa drew close together, fearfully looking at the back door. Who is it? As Gura fearfully pushed the back door, he called out, and his eyes flashed towards a butcher knife that sat in a nearby sink. He didn't pick it up yet, because there was still a possibility that this was a member of the family. However, that possibility was impossible. There was no response from across the door to Gora's initial question. Maybe his voice had been so quiet that it had not reached through all the wind and rain outside.
Genji-san.
Genji-san. Yes? Stand back, Dr. Nanjo, and the woman. The women. Who in the world could it be? Genji took a knife with a classical design from a stationery box placed near the chest set. It was something to be used instead of paper knife to open envelopes for statements of delivery and bills. But it was still a knife, so the blade on it could injure someone. Genji hid it in his sleeve with a well-practiced motion. Why would he practice that? Okay. I trust Genji. I would trust him with my life. But that is quite weird. That is quite weird. I'll put it here. Besides it to like 60. There you go. This is good, by the way, that I'm noting this down. I almost forgot this part, right? I'm the one who should be apologizing. As pair of mothers with daughters, we should talk more often. I do not recall her daughter. Right? Like, I feel that's pretty big. And I probably would have forgotten it if it wasn't for this shot. Okay, anyways. Genji hid it in his sleeves with a well-practiced motion. Then, he approached the black door himself, giving Goda a silent nod. Goda cautiously approached the back door and slowly started to open it. Wait, who died? The shadow of a person suddenly shuffled into sight, landed on his knees and fell over. Goda fell backwards into his backside and couldn't get up. That human shadow was soaked with rain, smeared with mud, and drenched with blood. Cannon? What? Cannon, are you alright? Dr. Nanjo. It was Cannon. His breath was feeble, and the puddles of mud he left were quickly drenched bright red. But he died. I'm not wrong, right? He died. Cannon was killed in this room. He's dead in this room or something. I don't know. What the fuck? When Nenjo held it and turned him face up, there was a deep, gruesome wound right in the center of his chest, as though he'd been stabbed there by a spear or something. Even now, deep red blood poured out from there. It's been like a few hours too. This is horrible. Well, what shall we do? Get a first aid kit? A first aid kit? Canon, place your hand against the wound. Please, push firmly. Let's carry him to the bed in the servant room. Everyone, please lend a hand. Come now, Canon. Please hang in there a little longer. Hang in there. It'll be okay. So don't take your hand from the wound. At any rate, let us carry him to the servant room. Kumasawa, inform Rosa that we have found Canon. They're splitting up from Kumasawa. Oh my god. These people are so dumb. They don't deserve to live. Wait. That's his voice. Not. Rosa. Are they going to blame Rosa? Please wait. Canon said, no, Rosa-sama. What do you mean, Canon? There's no time for that. Let us quickly carry him to the servant room. Kumasawa, do not tell Rosa yet. We will do it after we hear the situation from Canon. Yes. He had told them not to tell Rosa right after appearing in the state. This could only mean something very disquieting. And eerie anxiety rose to their faces. Come now, everyone! Let's hurry and carry him! Quickly, quickly! What the fuck? Kanon's wound was unbelievably deep, and judging from Nenjo's fell face, it was a miracle that he was still conscious. This is horrible. He appears to have been stabbed by something like a spear. If it doesn't reach the lungs, I might be able to do something. At any rate, we must stop the bleeding. No matter how much Nenjo tried to wipe off that gushing deep red blood, he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. He couldn't wipe it all away. And each time, the wound was aggravated, causing Canon to cry in anguish. Canon! 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 Hang in there! Hang in there! Dr. Nanjo! Here's a new towel! Oh, horrible! What is his condition? In all honesty, this is so severe that I cannot believe he is alive. Maybe the location of the wound was fortunate, but the blood loss is too terrible. A blood transfusion is necessary, but that will be impossible until tomorrow. Cough, cough. Rosa, to us. Am I good at voice acting dying people, by the way? I hope I am. I've been told that I have a natural talent for it. Don't talk, Canon! Your wound will open! Rosa came to Milady! And me, and... What did you say? Rosa did? Oh, could that mean? Could that mean? Are you certain? Yes, I'm certain. It was Rosa. Who the fuck is this? Come now, don't speak anymore. Kumasawa, please grab another first aid kit. And you're suiting the rug. Please be a little more dignified. Exactly, Mac. Exactly. Oh my god. This is... Like, okay, I'm sorry, but who the fuck is this? This would imply that Canon was carried all the way outside, dumped in the mud or something, and then brought back in. Or at least brought himself back in from the forest while bleeding out, and then decided to tell about Rosa, which is false. It can't be true. He's dead. Kenan died. Unless he's a zombie here, apparently. He died in that room. So this either has to be a body double, which I doubt because all those people have known Kenan for like years. They would recognize if this was not Kenan. What the fuck is this? Beatrice, you're just lying. The story is not real. There's no fucking way Kenan is alive. Or you lied with the right truth. Or Beatrice lied with the right truth. Genji-san, is it possible Rosa did such a thing? I do not know. Disregarding Nanjo and Kurosawa, we were struggling hard and straining with blood as we tried to stop the bleeding. Genji and Goda faced each other. Because if what Kenan had said was the truth, Rosa was the culprit who killed Jessica. Curse you, Rosa! How could you do that to my lady? I'll kill you! I will kill you! Kenan screamed even more hatefully. His hate-filled voice made it seem like he was seeing Jessica being armed right before his eyes. Certainly, Rosa may have had reason to kill my lady. If everyone knew Shiromiya family were destroyed, the inheritance would all go to Rosa-sama. If so, Butler and George are in danger. Not only is Rosa holding a gun, but right now, they're the only ones in the lounge. Genji, isn't this situation quite perilous? Kenan suddenly ran out into the corridor. It's over for her. It's over. An expression was complex and tragic, as though she didn't know what to believe. Shannon ran. To where? The inside of the mansion would be scrupulously cleaned, so it probably wouldn't be easy to find. She might find it if she searched the rose garden, but it'd probably all been lost in this wind and rain. That's right. The boiler room isn't cleaned very often. If you went there, you might be able to find it. Shannon ran downstairs to find that in the underground boiler room. Did some medicine take effect at the brink of death? Or was Kenan finally beyond feeling pain? For the time being, at least Kenan's painful gasping had subsided. Nanjo apparently didn't view this as a very good sign, and didn't let his eyes off Kenan for a second. Kurosawa firmly gripped Kenan's hand and kept encouraging him, so that the willpower keeping him alive didn't fade away. Genji and Goda seemed uncertain how to respond to the troop Kenan had risked his life to deliver. Rosa guns surely has 4 or 5 shots loaded. Well, it's no small number. Building coverage into a Winchester should require quite a lot of practice. You might be able to get one shot off, but if everyone acts extra at once, we should be able to take the gun from her before she shoots again. We may have the doctor on this island, but we have no access to medicine and no hospital. If the location of the shot is bad, that person will die. I understand that, but more importantly, if we don't move quickly, there's a chance another crime will occur. It seems to be Rosa-sama, a man that should cleverly chase us out. Maybe George and Butler are being killed right now. Okay, give me a second. So he definitely is dead, even though there's no corpse. Yeah, this would mean they failed. This would mean they failed. The second Twilight, which makes no sense. No, they didn't. Okay, if the witch lied about Kenan dying, the second Twilight still is not failed because they tore apart. The two were close, right? Okay. Anyways, I don't see anything particular. If our is dangerous, Wouldn't it be better if we didn't provoke them too much?
しかし
Tomorrow is still a long way up.
どんな手を
We can't even imagine what strategies he might use.
源氏さん
Genji, we should take action first.
せめて銃
If we can at least steal the gun under some pretext, it might work out. About 4 or 5 cartridges, have we not? That means there aren't enough to kill all of us. As long as we don't carelessly provoke her. Surely even Rosa wouldn't be that harsh. No, she said it. She said she'll massacre all of us. That's false. Ken, who we thought was sleeping quietly, suddenly started talking brightly. Almost as though he'd been awake this whole time and suddenly opened his mouth. Ken looked firm and steady, which relieved Ninja a bit, but considering the depth of that wound, he couldn't wipe away a sudden creepy feeling. Yeah. He knew because he was a doctor. After losing so much blood, Kennen might easily have lost consciousness. And yet, somehow he was still intensely aware of his surroundings. Was it Yoff? Or was it tenacity? Sometimes the power of human life surpassed common knowledge. While stopping the bleeding, Nanjo had groped around a bit inside the bleeding hole with tweezers, making sure there were no foreign objects inside the affected area. And the great depth of the wound that shocked him, it had suddenly reached as far as his lungs. And yet, it's been hours. No, but the fact that he's still alive is wonderful. But Kennen had spoken clearly. He thankfully stated that the one named Rosa made this wound, twisting and raging, over and over and over. I just heard an update on this. No, there isn't. Okay, never mind. I imagined it. Okay, I think there's a small difference between this canon and the real one. Let's compare really quick, right? Like we have this amazing comparison right there to make. Also, wait. Yeah, he doesn't have the fang. He doesn't have the fang. So this is, okay. So this is definitely Kennen's corpse because it doesn't have the fang either, right? Okay. Where do I have a picture of Kennen? Here. And we're gonna put it at 50, I think. My phone fell. Lower it by 70 again. Is there any difference between the two? I don't think so. Here we go. What? Genuinely, what the fuck is going on? She wants to kill everyone by any means necessary before the typhoon passes, so that she can have the master's wealth all to herself. She told me that clearly. Damn. What a person. Genji, what should we do? Are there any weapons we can? I find it hard to believe. You think that Rosa would say something like that? How would she be able to do this in the first place? I mean, we already established she would be able to do it, but... Genji, it isn't a question of whether you believe or not. He told me. I heard it. Why won't you believe me? Don't get up. You'll harm your wound. Kennen sat up on the bed, speaking to Genji, who didn't seem to be willing to believe Kennen's story. The wound is definitely real. He'll definitely kill all of us. He must have killed everyone in the parlor by now. If we don't kill her first, we'll definitely be killed first. Just like how I was killed first, everyone else will also be killed first. Kill or be killed. Kill or be killed, or kill or be killed. Does that really not hurt? Oh, this is nothing. What do you mean? It's nothing? You're... It really isn't a big deal. It doesn't even hurt anymore. It's really nothing. Kenan said that. He sounded in pleasure when he said that last word. He began to untie the bandage, something that had been painstakingly wrapped. The gruesome hole in his chest was immediately exposed. Kenan! You mustn't do that! Lie down quickly! I said it's fine. Hey, see? This is nothing, right? Kenan showed off his gaping wound, which was still slowly spitting out foamy blood. Everyone averted their eyes reflexively. Look, I told you it wasn't a serious wound at all. Oh, you mustn't play with the wound. Come on, see? It isn't a deep wound at all. Look! Look! Kenan held up 2 fingers, showed them to everyone. They slowly started to stick them to the gruesome wound right in the center of his chest. Plunging, slimy, squishy, wet. The fingers went in deep, all the way to their bases. Wish, gloop, bloop. That's me right now. Kenan, stop it! Stop it! Those fingers were sticking all the way into his chest, up to the bases. How small are his fingers? Wouldn't it go through the chest? Wait, let me check. Yeah, it would reach the back of the chest. What the fuck? That's what you said, Ryukishi. True. If you picture this in a sexual context, this entire dialogue becomes very different. Then he slowly pulled them out in exactly the same way. The fingers that pulled out were stained in a sticky, solid, deep red color. There was even a thread hanging. God. The fingers were covered up in their bases in deep red. You! What in the world? See? It is not a serious wound at all. See? At that moment, the door was slammed open, and Shannon appeared. Even after she saw Kenan stained with fresh blood, her impregnable expression didn't falter. Come on, the Shannon clutch. Don't be waifu bait. Prove your value. Hey, Nissan, where'd you go? I'm on the verge of death here, so where'd you go? That's right. I went to the boiler room. There was something I had to find. More importantly, there's something I need to ask you. Are you really Kenan-kun? What? It was only natural. Everyone believed he was Kenan. They couldn't understand the meaning of Shannon's question. When we looked, when it's that Shannon was holding a handkerchief in her hand, was filthy, and looked like it had been used to wipe up some trash or dust. And while holding that, she approached Kenan, drawing closer to his feet. What is that? The handkerchief with a spider's web waved on it. What? Why would you bring something like that? If you're Kenan, you should be fine. But if spiders are your natural enemy, I thought you might not like it. Seems pretty important. You know what? Give me a second. Thing right there is the way. Okay. I have no idea what's happening. Are you kidding? Why would I hate spiders? Sorry, I'll try it. Shannon! What? When Shannon brought that handkerchief close to Kenan's thigh, something happened in an instant. It happened all at once. The human eye couldn't have followed it. Kenan jumped like a wild goat, fleeing from the thing Shannon was holding. Then, from his arm, some kind of afterglow flashed purple and drew a curve through space. That arc, which purple, but it is red. It's a deep red. First across the throat of Nanjo and Kumasawa, who had been tending to him. And in an instant, Nanjo's and Kumasawa's throats opened like gaping mouths, and then the blood really started spewing out. The third purple curve should have traced across Shannon's throat, but Shannon wasn't there, because Genji, who had been behind her, had wrapped his own arm around Shannon's neck and pulled her back. This all happened in an instant. In the instant it took Goda to think fast in an attempt to understand the scene, the frozen moment in time shattered. Blood was gushing from Nanjo and Kumasawa's torn open necks. Shannon jumped and kicked off a picture frame that had been hanging from the wall behind him, springing forward just like a cat and aiming for Shannon's throat again. The cannon's target once again disappeared in front of him. Because Genji had pulled Shannon again, as the two of them had fallen to the ground in a defensive crouch. Nice reflexes, you senile old furniture. Goda. Even Goda was no fool. Even if he couldn't fully understand what was going on, he at least realized that if this cannon wasn't seized, his own life would be in peril. He sprung at Cannon with his huge body, pushing him against the wall with all his weight and physical strength. Let go, badass! Another purple curve was drawn from the tips of the fingers on Cannon's right hand. And when he raised that hand like a sword, aiming for Goda's back, there was a loud thunk. Because Cannon's raised hand had been pinned to the wall, he couldn't tear his palm away from the wall. Sticking out from it was a knife Genji had thrown. You're so unseemly for a servant today. Look at the mess he made, there's blood everywhere now. I can't believe he would do this. Under normal circumstances, it would have been surprising to see someone as old as Genji handle a knife so skillfully. But in this abnormal space, no one paid it much mind. Genji, take this! Indeed. Genji took the handkerchief with a spider web stuck to it from Shannon. And he approached Cannon, who was pinned to the wall by Goda's massive body and the knife. Stop it! Keep that away from me! Stop it! Stop! Never heard anything about spiders so far. The entire magic was scorpions and emeralds. When Genji pushed the handkerchief up to Cannon's face, there was a sound just like setting meat on a red iron plate. Of course, the smell was the same too. As he was horribly burnt, festering in filthy red and black and crying out. In his death throes, Cannon's body burst open and scattered. It was almost as though a balloon filled with gold leaf had popped. The fuck? The entire 7th room is completely covered under a storm of gold leaf. No! A cloud of gold butterflies. The butterflies began to softly fade as though into water, or rather, into the empty air itself. And afterwards, all that was left was the 3 survivors sitting on their butts, stained with blood. However, not everyone was merely stained with blood. Some of them were lying on the ground, spreading out blood themselves. Wait. God. Misawa! Knocked on Hanjo! Slits so sharp they looked like they cut your fingers if you touched them open wide. A large amount of blood kept pouring out. What was that just now? Goda, have you been injured? I am fine. But what did we just see? What happened? I know I pushed that thing against this wall with my own hand, but even I cannot understand what happened. But I looked at his own hand. The bright red blood left from his scuffle with Kennen definitely remained. And yet, Kennen was nowhere to be seen, because he had disappeared. He had transformed into gold butterflies and scattered. Goda kept screaming alone, without a clue about what was going on. Kennen sobbed in front of Nanjo's and Kumasawa's remains. Now it's updated. God! Died in the servant room, his throat sliced open by a sharp blade or something similar. However, this alone isn't enough. Died in the servant room, her throat sliced open by a sharp blade or something similar. Training to think touches are yet to come. So... Oh, because the epitaph doesn't say then kill, it says and kill. So I guess we gotta gouge up the head and the chest. As Genji watched over, silent as always. Yeah. Oh, I thought Battler was gonna show up and say, what the fuck is this? Same time, different place. Dr. Nanjo and Kurosawa were... What on earth are you talking about? Oh, Shannon! Thank goodness you're safe! If something had happened to you, hi! George! George, be quiet for a second! A murder occurred before your very eyes, right? Did you see the culprit? Or not? That is... How should I explain? Genji-san. Even we can adequately explain what happened in front of us. It certainly happened right before our eyes. It was right in front of my eyes. However, it was, what was it? Even I don't understand. What are you saying? You couldn't have been anyone except the witch, Beatrice, whose location has been unknown since yesterday. Or Kennen, who's gone missing. Was it a man or a woman? You should be able to tell me at least that much, right? Well, words that calm down a bit. Anyone would be confused if two people were sticking out right in front of them. Genji, there's no need to rush. Tell us what happened, one thing at a time. Let's do that. How should I say it? Dr. Nanjo and Kurosawa had been killed. We understood that much. And it seemed that it had occurred in front of those people's eyes. But even so, they spoke awkwardly. They admitted that they had definitely seen the crime with their own eyes. When we asked to explain what they had seen, their mouths went suddenly shut. I could understand why Rosa was irritated and flaring up. Shannon, did you see it? When Dr. Nanjo was attacked? Yes! Tell me, just what you understand. What in the world happened? Someone came through the back door. That's right! Someone came up to the back door. Then, wondering where it was, I opened the door. Someone at the back door? Who was it? Let them finish! And after that, the person was stained with blood and had a large wound. We carried that person to the servant room, and Dr. Nanjo immediately began first aid. It was a very deep wound. Like I said, what are you talking about? I don't know. Certainly, in the beginning, I thought that was the case. I still think that, but what in the world was that? I don't know. In the manner that didn't match his large body, Goda held his head and scratched at it. I didn't have a clue if he was confused because he couldn't remember, or because he'd seen something terrifying and couldn't accept it. And Shannon looked the same way. If she let her guard down, what she'd seen just a short while ago would quickly melt away like a daydream, and she wouldn't be able to remember anything. That's what she looked like. Only Genji looked composed as usual, so the questions were naturally directed at them. However, even Genji took some time before he spoke, and he had to gather his thoughts. Genji, you saw it, right? Who came in through the back door? At first, we believed that person was Kennen. You see? He was alive after all! My theory was correct! But at first, you mean that your impression changed later, right? Yes. I cannot explain with words what happened after that. He killed Dr. Nenjo and Kumasawa, then disappeared. At that time, he was definitely not canon. Yes! That's right! Just as Genji says, you really couldn't explain with words. Do you have the same opinion? Yes, I can only say the same thing. If we give her claims the benefit of the doubt, it means that Rosa's first conclusion was correct. I just told you it's not canon! Canon appeared near the back door to the kitchen with serious injury, and he had been taken to the servant room in Ket 4. And after that, something terrifying had happened. So, were these people so convinced that Canon couldn't possibly have done such a thing, that we started to suspect whether it had ever been canon at all? In other words, does that mean Canon did appear? No matter how confused they are, no matter how they muddle their words, that's what it means in the end. So does that mean that, after all, Canon used some trick to escape that room even though it was locked? No, that doesn't matter anymore. The real problem is that Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa-san are killed. And Rosa has claimed that Canon was behind this from the very beginning. No matter how confused these people are, no matter how much they try to deny it, they are halfway confirming that she was right. But even so, for some reason, I felt like their awkwardness could not be explained by confusion alone. What did they see? Like I said, did they really see something that couldn't be explained with words? Beatrice coming up, no? No. On Rosa, who decided that further talk couldn't get us anywhere, concluded her questioning and said she wanted to check in the two bodies. That was something I'd been wanting to do too. The witnesses had been unable to figure anything out, but they'd been shaken. If those of us who hadn't been at the scene calmly looked at the corpses, we might find something. But it was a little surprising to learn that Aunt Rosa was also concerned about the bodies. Even at this point, I still wanted to use any clues I could find to expose the culprit, and the truth, myself. But it should have been different in Aunt Rosa's case. Hasn't Aunt Rosa prioritized staying safe over finding the culprit? That is a notably different strategy from Natsui. I couldn't really see why she would go to all the trouble of leaving our barricade in the parlor, just because she wanted to check the bodies. We will all go to the servant room together. If we all move together, it will be safe. Maria, stop playing with scribbles. Not scribbles. I'm solving Beatrice's puzzles. Beatrice's puzzle? What's that? Show me too. Oh, Rosa, are you bringing Maria-chan too? It seemed that George was against the idea of bringing Maria to the bloody crime scene. But considering that Maria would be all alone if left here, it would surely be much safer to take Maria with us. In the end, it was just Aniki's irresponsible humanism. We decided that all of us, including Maria, would go to the servant room. Irresponsible humanism is not how I would describe George. You know? That is not how I would describe him. The bed in the servant room was stained with bright red blood. No, not just the bed. The whole room was covered with gruesome paint from countless bloodstains. That dreadful seal alone was enough to give us an idea of the repulsive sight we'd been trying to describe. I wanna look too! Oh yeah, wait here with me. George was standing by the entrance, covering Maya's eyes with his back to the room. He probably didn't want to dirty an innocent girl's retinas with the repulsive blood in the room. That was surely the correct decision. I was active tough right now, so I didn't mind. But for the rest of my life, whenever I see red paint scattered around, I'll probably remember this room and start to vomit. My retinas have already had this room burned into them. In other words, it's already too late for me. Where did they? Right after they entered the seventh room, Goda and Shannon trembled. We shook, wondering what horrible new situation had arisen to make them tremble again. What happened? What is it? Noraza also shuddered, raising her gun high and searching for whatever it was that had made them shudder. But she couldn't find it. It was only natural. They were trembling because they couldn't find it. Hey, what in the world's going on? The two bodies aren't here. What does this mean? That can't be. Those two were definitely here. Wait. What the hell are you saying? The corpses just walked off somewhere? That couldn't happen, right? I mean, wasn't the servant room locked? Didn't you unlock the door when you came in just now, Goda? What does that mean? Again with the locked room. Again. What does it mean? Isn't this the same as Jessica's room? Someone disappeared from inside the closed room again. That's ridiculous. I don't have a clue what happened either. When we left this room, we definitely locked it. I don't have a clue what's going on anymore. Okay, but like we already established that there was plenty of people with access to a key. We have 7 keys, so you know, it doesn't matter the fact that it's locked here. It's not a true locked room. There's so many people with a key. There was a timid, pitiful smile on Goda's face that he definitely wouldn't have let show normally. Shen was the same. 2 corpses disappeared. And furthermore, they disappeared while the door was locked. Even if Cannon was the culprit, he shouldn't have a master key anymore. That's wrong. Cannon isn't the culprit. This is false too. The corpses have master keys, like Kumasawa's here. Kumasawa has a master key. You could just grab it from Kumasawa. Shannon. I believe Shannon. Shannon is not the culprit. This must be the doing of someone who looks a lot like him. Who? No, Shannon could have gotten the master key. After all, his master key was found in the pocket of Jessica's corpse. And who took that key? That's right! It was Dr. Nanjo. That's right. Back then, it definitely was Dr. Nanjo who searched through Jessica's clothes and found the master key. So, if someone had the opportunity to search Dr. Nanjo's corpse, it would have been easy for them to take the master key back. On Rosa searched under the bed and in the locker. Right now, I also understood what that meant. If you assume there are 2 culprits, this can be easily explained. The first person was Kevin, or maybe an imposter who looked like him. He finished off Dr. Nanjo and ran off somewhere. Second person was probably the 19th person, Beatrice, whose location was unknown. That person hid under the bed in the servant room beforehand, and while Dr. Nanjo's body was enshrined here, they waited for Genji and the rest to leave. Then later, they crawled out, took the master key from Dr. Nanjo's pocket, carried the 2 corpses away for some reason. If they then locked the room with the master key, you end up with this locked room. Yeah, okay, Beatrice, tell me how you explain this shit. Beatrice, tell me or you are going to convince me this is in any way real. Cackle. You constructed that one pretty fast, basing it off your reasoning from Jessica's room. With that method, you could create a closed room even without magic. Should I give you passing marks? However, interestingly enough, there's one thing you mustn't forget. As the culprit took back the master key as you suggest, they must have known that Nanjo took the master key from Jessica's body. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely trying to lead me to believe that, like, the murderer has to be someone from, like, the ones who were in the room, right? But I've already established, at least in my mind, that the murderer is an old servant who just kept a master key. You don't have to tell me that. You're probably trying to say it, and it's information only the people in that place at that time could know. This room was crushed so fast that you stopped trying to make hurtful remarks like that. There's no harm in repeating the same content over and over. I may have managed to bluff, but that move on the witches hurts bad. I can tell that I'm crapping on the thing I want to deny the most. Alright, quick disclaimer. I had to stop the previous stream early, so this is edited together with the next stream into one single episode. So, if you see a jump, that's why. Back from Umineko. I'm sorry for being late. I was like 1 hour late. I went and laid in bed at like 4 p.m. and then I wake up, not planning to sleep, by the way. I just wake up at 7:50 and I didn't even plan to eat. Like, I didn't even have food. So I had to rush to get fast food, and then they took 20 fucking years to deliver it. So, that was a saga. That was a saga. Hi, Polopo! What's up? Soup, indeed. I'm gonna say it on stream, right? Because maybe there are people who watch the YouTube VODs. I will just finish episode 2, and if it's a sudden renewal of interest, I'll probably pick it up again. Right? I'll probably pick up Umineko again. But I'm going to finish episode 2 and then move on to other games, I think. Hi, Slav. What's up? How are you doing? Give me a second to switch to Umineko. Here we go. I'm really enjoying Umineko is the thing, right? Like, it definitely is a really, really good story. And I'm really glad to have played it. Its peak. Give me a second. There you go. We got the child back. Everything here. There were a few things I added. Give me a second to reread what we had. Right. That was about it. Okay. Very great recap. I love this. Where's the bot? What do you mean bot? Slept for 3 hours. Fell asleep in not so much time. It's awful when that happens. Yeah. It's like you lay down to, you know, chill, and then you wake up 3 hours later with a hangover worse than if you drank 30,000 kilos of beer. It's fucking awful. I don't know why anyone does naps, right? I don't know why everyone does a nap and then wakes up from it completely feeling like shit. Like, it's a choice at this point, right? And it's what I'm making every time without realizing. I like the part where Umineko said meow. True! When the Umineko's try. I still am surprised that Umineko means, like, seagull. Does Yumi mean, like, water? Do Japanese people think that seagulls are like water cats? Because I do not see it. I simply do not see it. Alright, so last time we stopped in the middle of one of those right before we started saying red truths, right? There was this thing where a zombie thing? They kinda say nya nya. You're right, Polopo, now that you pointed out. Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. I mean, they did make a point of saying nya. You are just George 2020. What the fuck is that name? What the fuck is that name? George, I'm not voting for George as president, dude. George is not my president. George is not my president. Okay. I need to collect myself. Oh wait, yeah, it's you! Okay, never mind. Alright, besides that. Alright, so... Last time we had this whole thing. I'm pretty sure I put it on the chart over here, but I don't remember where exactly. So, like, we have all the things about Cannon dying here. Like, it's certain that he was killed too because it's in red, as you can see here. And then there was nothing else. I don't think I noted anything else about this. I don't... Cannon just came out as a zombie and started killing people. Alright, sure, whatever. That's clearly a believable story. The account was created now that you know what it is. Will you vote change? Sorry, but George is... I can't support George. You should get a... You should get a name change, at which point I might consider it. That was the worst stutter I've had in a long time, goddamn. Okay, so yeah, they were talking about, oh, there was a murder with Cannon, right? Where there was a sort of imposter zombie that came into the servant room with everyone else, right? With, Nanjo, Kumasawa, Genji, Shannon. And there was some sort of Cannon zombie who came in, murdered Nanjo, Kumasawa, and then got turned into dust or something by Shannon putting a clove next to her. And now we're supposed to make sense of that? Now we're supposed to make sense of that realistically after seeing this shit. And right now they're talking about, oh, like... I should not have stopped in the middle of that scene because now I forgot everything. Alright, I'll reread this, I'll reread this out loud, so that way we can get back into it. Alright. The first person was Cannon, or maybe an imposter would look like him. He finished off Dr. Nanjo and ran off somewhere. Second person, right, they're talking about, oh, there's two people inside the room. A fake Cannon zombie and then real person. Finished Dr. Nanjo and ran off somewhere. The second person is probably the 90th person. Beatrice, whose location was unknown. That person hid under the bed. Right, because they murdered people and then locked the door and nailed the corpses, right? And while Dr. Nanjo's body was enshrined here, they waited for Genji and the rest to leave. Then later they crawled out, took the master key back from Dr. Nanjo's pocket, carried the two corpses away for some reason. If they then locked the door with the master key, you'd end up with this closed room. Yeah, you're considering that one pretty fast, but isn't enough your reasoning from Jessica's room. There's one thing you mustn't forget. If the culprit took back the master key as you suggest, they must have known that Nanjo took the master key from Jessica's body. Okay. It's probably only people in that place at that time. And now it's closed again. It's crushed. I see. Okay. Now we're back on track. All I can remember is that one name where it's a Twitter SS that says, do they like bag on purpose or... You talking about him? That's George, by the way. That's the reason I don't like him. Look at him. Look, tell me if you look at him, tell me you don't like him. Tell me you do like him, actually. I don't think it's possible. I don't think you can. Alright. I may have managed to bluff, but that move of the witches hurts bad. What? You don't? You really do think... Oh, okay, no, you like girls. I mean, that's fair. Yeah, that's why he's bad. All the girls have been murdered so far. There's only one girl left. 2. 3. 4, but she doesn't count. Alright. I may have managed to bluff, but that move of the witches hurts bad. I can tell that I'm cracking under the thing I want to deny the most. This person is trying to close in on me from 2 directions. On the one hand, there's a frontal attack where she tries to force me to believe there's a witch using closed room tricks that only a witch could do. And on the other hand, there's a rear attack. Oh. I see. Where she tries to lure me into wanting a witch to exist. By strengthening my suspicions of those close to me. In the first closed room, the chapel, she used the frontal attack, but it didn't work on me. So by the second closed room, and now on the third, she's definitely changing the direction of her attack. However, the fact that she is changing the direction proves that my resistance is having some effect. And she must have given up on the frontal attack because she clearly can't win with it. I tried to settle my unease by thinking these things. That is a fair point, yeah. But apparently, the witch has seen through me long ago. I love how you describe George as a Redditor, right? And that is so fitting. Because he's such like a smart-ass nerd who like thinks he's smart, you know? Like he has a lure of someone who thinks he's smart. It's kind of crazy. Okay, anyways. Cackle. I will not abandon my frontal attack. That sound is too high, by the way. It should be better now. Can you believe he's single? He's not! He's engaged! Have you forgotten? A rear attack only has meaning because it advances at the same time as a front. If it were to degenerate into only using the rear attack, it would mainly result in a foolish plan where my means have become my goal. It's the meme, stop. I don't have the meme. I don't have the meme. I'm sorry, Palapo. Ah, really? Well then, won't you repeat someone was hiding in the servant room, using that red you're so proud of? There is no need. The premise of your fairy is about to be destroyed. Oh, really? You refuse? So someone really is hiding. Rosa will destroy your premise right now. Am I really fucking... No one told me? I'm gonna fucking shoot myself. Dude. Instant pain screen stream. Yeah. I'm gonna fucking shoot myself. I'm stupid. I'm really stupid. Alright, let me just reload so you guys can like see it again. Very slowly. Right? God, this is dumb. Alright, may I manage to bluff? Can tell that I'm cracking and there's a thing I want to deny the most. Closing from two directions. Frontal. Rear attack. It didn't work on me, and now she's using a different direction. Resistance is having some effect. Yeah, it does. She must have given up. She had seen through me, and then here we are. But no abandon. What is meaning? Where to degenerate into only using the rear attack, blah blah blah. Okay, won't you repeat? Won't you repeat someone was hiding in the servant room? Yes. And now it's about to be destroyed by Rosa, right now. Here we are. Come, let's listen in. So I guess this is a viewing gallery, right? Between Battler and Beatrice. All of this. Please believe us, Rosa-sama! The corpses were definitely laying here! The bright red on the floor is theirs! Aunt Rosa began to search for various objects around the room, her back to Goda-san as he cried out in supplication. Eventually, she found something. For a while, stopped moving. Rosa, we definitely aren't aren't lying. But the corpses were definitely here. Be quiet. The person who hid the corpses has confessed that they took them to another place. What? With this, Rosa showed them a single sheet of paper over her shoulder. Yes, the body disappeared, I forgot. What on earth is that? Could it be a letter in a sealed envelope? Just like in the chapel? Yes, that's right. It was said here, out in the open. I'll read it. Members of the Ushiromiya family and its household, have you now reached the climax of the riddle of the gold's epitaph? There is only one way you can stop me, by solving the epitaph's riddle. There are no other options left to you that will result in the suspension of my ceremony. We ask that you take care not to misunderstand your current situation. Searching for me will prove useless. Attempting to escape will prove useless. Trying to deny me will prove useless. Beatrice the Golden. Yeah. Yes, we wrote those two corpses for my ceremony. They will be returned to you in due time, so I crave your indulgence. Also, these keys belong to you, so I return them to you now. As Rosa read that aloud, the contents of the envelope lay exposed on the palm of her hand. There were two master keys. Oh, Kumasawa and Nanjo. The master key that Nanjo had found in Jessica's pocket, which had originally been canon, and Kumasawa's master key. What the hell? So what does that mean? Damn you, again? You're saying I can only suspect the servants with keys again? I won't say it in red, okay? I won't deny the possibility that after they locked the door and left, someone was hiding in this room, okay? Keko. Yeah, as I've stated, for those that were here, I can restate it because it's the first time. My theory so far, right, with all of this, is that right now, right here, murderess that one servant mentioned at the start was a master key, right? Because she came off the island and maybe she has a master key out there. I don't know if they retook it, but I've not made that clear. But they could have just stolen one. They know the layout of the mansion because they're an old servant. And it feels smart. Right? And would also explain, like, they made a point of making it seem like they were trusted by people, so they were known. Right? But, you know, Jessica was turned around, flipped around, blah blah blah. I already explained it before. There's a lot of things that point it to being someone outside the family. Right? I love the methodic feel to your evidence shot. Yeah, I love it. I love it too. Again, everything that the murderer has done so far has been done in order to make it seem like it has to be one of the servants, right? Everything has been done that way. And I think that's what's going to be the next move of Beatrice. Beatrice is going to kill all the servants. That way, Butler can not go, oh yeah, it's one of the servants that did it, because they're all dead. But again, if we just assume it is someone off the premise, right? Like if you read it before, they were talking about, oh, there's more than one servant. So this will solve the entire thing. If another servant exists with their own keys, it solves the entire case. All of it solved. So keep that in mind as we go further into this. If they hid under the bed, it would still have been possible for them to carry the corpses somewhere. But they wouldn't have been able to lock the door. The master key they went to all that trouble to get was left right here. That's right, I'd forgotten. What about the key specifically for this room? The servant room keys. Indeed. Those are kept in a key box in the center of the servant room. Okay. This is one of those times where once more... Wait. I took a screen. There are servant servant room, but all of those are inside the key box. Okay. That we can note down. Here we go. I fucked up. I'm a dumbass. I forgot to control X. I like doing control X instead of control C because it gives me visual feedback. Random boring detail about me. Where do I put it? I'm guessing I'm gonna put it like right there, right? I'm gonna do a distinction here. Nanjo. Plus Kuma. I'm not bothering writing well, fuck it. There we go. Typical is 40, so here you go, size 40. Layout is set up. Now we can actually start theorizing. I've already got my theory, but maybe it will be proven wrong within the next few lines of dialogue, so... Which means the situation is exactly the same as Jessica's room. It's not like the servants would walk around with an unnecessary key when they have those convenient master keys. I can accept that they're all kept in the key box. And the other conditions remains unchanged as well. Entry and exit are impossible except for the single door and the single window. Therefore, hidden doors and irregular methods of entry can exist. Rejoice, great detectives, thank you. I'm glad you're saying this. Yeah, this is always, they're always gonna state this, right? Here we go. Yeah, cool. And those were both locked. The door and the window do not permit any kind of entry or exit when they are locked. So it wouldn't work to remove the door and make a crack to slide him through or anything like that while the lock is still set. Yeah, I'm also adding this, I'm not showing it because there's no point. Size. Okay, I think I'm gonna make like a section for like basic setup, right? Not blue because blue is a fury color here. Basic setup. Here we go. Because like we're just gonna keep stating those to get all the obvious questions out of the way. And obviously, it is impossible to unlock the door without a servant room key or the master key. Okay, wait. Alright. She's leading Battler somewhere. She's already leading Battler somewhere. She has said nothing. They are kept inside the box, but that doesn't mean they've not been taken out of the box, right? That's where they are kept. Unless the wording in Japanese is more specific, this could just mean they are kept inside as like their designated storage place. It does not mean they are in it. Maybe I misunderstand, but I feel like that's where she's leading Battler, and she's got a trap set up for him with this. With this line of logic. We're gonna add it. There we go. And the reason that makes me think this is because of this right there. Because she's specifying it. Yeah, trap. Or Battler. Here we go, and we'll put it not in bold. Here we go. And we're gonna see whether or not I'm correct very soon. It's a pain having to read all these aloud every time. Sooner or later, I should think of a word to put this all together and abbreviate it. But you can't repeat that someone was hiding in this room. However, that alone won't break open the door of a closed room. Yeah, she's probably gonna say words to summarize all this later. That would be cool. Ah, damn it! What is he banging on? There's nothing.
ダメだダメだ
It's useless. It's useless.
ダメだ
It's all useless. He's saying his catchphrase. Holy shit, he's saying his catchphrase. I forgot to do it last time, right? But this counts. This counts as a battle noise. Considering how often he says it. Cackle, cackle. What happened to that spinning the chessboard around thing that you're so proud of? Please, announce your boastful exchange theory.
チェス盤を
Spinning the chessboard around.
俺が犯人だ
What would I do if I was a culprit?
死体を
I carry the corpses off somewhere.
手紙を
I leave a letter.
内側から書き
I lock the door from the inside.
ここから何
And I just have to escape this room by some
部屋
means.
を脱出すればいいんけくそ
Damn it, is that even
そん
possible?
な方法はあるのか
Oh, they're on the ceiling. That's the solution. They're hanging on the ceiling with like Spider-Man grip, right? And they're holding onto it, laying flat on it, so nobody sees them, right? That's gotta be it.
扉と窓以外からは外に出ら
I
れ
was told in red that you can't get outside except through the door or the window.
お
Oh. That moment? I got it. Really? That's right. The culprit carried away the corpses, left the letter. And since they didn't use the hidden door, they weren't able to escape. That's it. This isn't a question. It's an answer.
であと
Bito,
副将要
before I ask you to repeat anything, I want to check the definition of hidden doors that you're using. Oh, yes. Yes, please. What have you thought of? Well, I'll explain. A hidden door refers to an entrance or exit that cannot be recognized as such by those who don't know of it beforehand, of course. Even children know that.
つまり
So in other words, if you can't get outside the room with
部屋
it,
の外に出られなかったら
it isn't
そ
a
れは
hidden
隠
door.
し扉じゃないってことだよな
Oh, that is smart. It's talking about like, you know, a secret compartment to hide inside. I think that's important definition, so I'm gonna put it down there. There we go. Oh, so that's your game.
俺は
I kept thinking there needed to be some way for the culprit to escape from the closed room.
思っていた違う
That's wrong.
犯人だっ
The
て見
culprit
つから
couldn't escape,
脱出できるだから隠れ
so
て
we
やりそう
decided
と
to hide
した
until we all left. During the second room, I tried applying this theory to Kenan, but after hearing Kenan was killed in red, I gave it up. After that, I proposed that a third person might have been in the room before escaping through a hidden door. And then, for the first time, I was faced with a direct claim that no hidden doors exist. No, that's... Okay, that's just a nitpick, but that's false. He did say there was no hidden doors here. No, actually. She just said that they entered through the front door. She did not talk about it in the doors there. Okay, anyways. That term hidden door refers to things that make it possible to enter or leave a room. In other words, that category doesn't cover things that don't actually lead in or out of the room, even if these things could be recognized by people who didn't know about them beforehand. So if we had something like a hidden shelf or a secret closet, for example, that would not count as a hidden door. That means the third person from Jessica's room is hiding here, waiting for us to leave. Oh, pathetic. It was all just a bit of wordplay. Looks like that technique should be enough to handle even this third closed room, and that's just mends the definition. If it's the hidden shelf under the bed or anything like that, that would be enough. The culprit is hiding somewhere, waiting for us to leave. The culprit is also trapped in this closed room even now. Which means, at this very moment, the culprit is still hiding in the servant room, holding their breath. And that means, what the hell? Even though we've been tortured by closed room 3 times, at this very moment, we've actually gotten the culprit in checkmate.
Yo,
I'm finally starting to see it. Eat this, Bito. Repeat it.
この部屋には
There is no one in this room other than us.
誰もいない。俺たち
By us, I mean me, George, Maria, Aunt Rosa, Genji, Goda, and Shannon. Got it?
どうだ
What do you think? You don't say it right. Oh! Oh!
痛えとこ
I bet that itchy where it hurts.
拒否なら
If you refuse, then say it, damn it.
次行くぜ
Here comes the next one. Repeat it. I don't know who they're hiding in this room. But if they are, and this solves the secret in close room, Jessica's room at the same time. Blame on George. It's all George, indeed. I finally caught her by the tail. With this, I can explain everything. Witches don't exist, and I don't have to suspect anyone. Alright, starting now, spin it all around. No one ever repeat that. No one exists in this room except your group. Big L. Massive L, Battler. Your group refers to Battler, George, Maria, Rosa, Genji, Goda, and Shannon. Fuck. I accidentally... I'm not gonna go back, but here we go. I fucked it up, right? But I can fix it. Watch me fix it. Wait a second. This is still, I still consider it to be basic setup. It was a mystery, so I'm not gonna put it elsewhere. Right? And here's how we're gonna fix it. I'm just gonna press this, right, to show that it's written in red. All of it. Here we go. Here we go, that's written in red, right? It gets the meaning across, right? Pretty sure it does. Alright, perfect. Now everyone got it, and the meaning is perfectly clear. Okay. Let's go back to Jessica's room. When Jessica's corpse was discovered, only Butler, George, etc., were in Jessica's room. Okay. He's so fucked. He should not have gotten that hyped over it. Okay, here you go. A bit too big. Size 30, I think. There you go, size 30. Size 30 it was. I think I aimed it perfectly, yeah, I did. Oops, the corpse of Jessica is also included. Wait! I'm sorry, wait! Can someone explain to me why this is not in red? Why is this not in red? Why is it not red? Jessica is also included. Why is it not red? I don't know if they're gonna point it out, but I'm noting it down for future reference. Therefore, both in the case involving Jessica's room and the one involving the servant room, no humans exist that you were not aware of. Yeah. I'm gonna remove this because we don't care. And here we go, size 40. And I'm gonna put it with same for Jessica. Case. And that will be the bit that matters here. Here we go. Same for Jessica Case. I'm gonna make sure I get it. No one is hiding. That one is important. Okay. I'm writing it down. Give me a second. Here we go. Done. I put it twice across the screen, right there and right there, just to make sure. And I'll say more! The battler looks so shocked. No method exists by which the door can be locked from the outside without using a key. Same time as her, goddamn. Regarding the window, no method exists by which it could somehow be locked from the outside. And let me also say this! God, please stop dumping info on me. I swear, there's so much basic setup. Give me more concrete information, I get it. The only valuable bit we got was that no one is hiding. Let me also say this. You are incompetent! It's canon. It's made canon. Holy shit. He's actually incompetent canonically. That's crazy. Holy shit. Oh my god. Okay. No fucking way. No fucking way. It's real too. Very rude, Beatrice. You don't have to state it as red truth if it's just rude, Beatrice. Baka. So, it's really a close room, isn't it? And just when I finally managed to think of a way out, you were hiding. I would fit everything. Just when I thought I'd broken through your trick. Miss. Get a girl that looks at you like her. God, I fucking wish, dude. I wish. Beatrice is perfect wife material. Prove me wrong. You can't. You know I'm right. You know I'm right. Indeed, Butler. I share your pain, but also this goes here. Mr. Chessboards, I agree. True. It's useless, it's useless, it's useless, it's all useless! For a second, I thought I had it! It was all useless! Damn it, I was so sure that I'd finally seen through her. That I'd seen how she distracted me with her clever red world play and fooled me. Just when I thought it found the light in darkness. It disappeared. Just disappeared. Swallowed up by a blood red sea. Red. 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 No one is hiding. And there's no hidden door. And no way to get past the doors or window while they're locked. Have you just proven that it's all impossible? Has the devil's proof been fulfilled? With a frontal attack? Impossible. That's impossible. What's wrong? You show me a battler. I love just to ease. Aren't you so confident in your ability to deny witches? Why are you groveling and bringing out bitter tears in a place like that? Yes, what a truly splendid tactic. Truly splendid, are you trying to make me fall over and drown in a sea of tears for my own laughter? That is what you're trying to do, right? You're trying to make me laugh and laugh and laugh myself to death, right? Battler. Why did that take so long? I love the fucking sound effect. What are you calling magic? I'll definitely prove that witches don't exist. I definitely won't believe in you. You used the power of magic and bullied and killed everyone for fun. I definitely won't accept that! Hey, battler. Sorry for bullying you so much. Spin the chessboard around from my side. I'll stand in your place and show you the best possible move you could make. Want to hear? Don't screw with me. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear. Consider Jessica's room. You were off to a good start, you know that? All that about hiding and waiting for everyone else to leave really was well spotted. But why did you only pick the cannon and me, the 90th person? I see. So the hide part of waiting and waiting got in the way, which prevented you from getting any further. Come on, you see what I'm getting at, don't you? It's Jessica. That's why. That's why. She did, in fact. She did, in fact, not put it in red for a reason. I just spent the last 5 minutes going back in time with Gmail stream notifications by this one VTuber. But what VTuber? Is it Gogora? You should watch Hololive. It is full of very good, interesting streamers. Slash sarcasm. Jessica was a culprit. A farce like this could be easily constructed. She killed Kevin and carried him off somewhere. And she played dead and let us walk by. But that's ridiculous. Nancho definitely confirmed that she was dead. Yeah, that's the thing, right? That's the thing. The entire reason why I'm saying it can't be Jessica is because Nanjo confirmed she was dead. Was Dr. Nanjo an accomplice too? That's wrong. I also confirmed that Jessica was dead. Of course, I've never examined the corpse before, but she was definitely dead. I think she was dead. That's probably, surely, definitely what I thought. But certainly, wait. She was dead. She was dead. Lucica was in on it. Anjo, who examined the corpse, was in on it too. And Butler, who also examined the corpse, was in on it too. And that makes the first clues rule a farce, doesn't it? Yeah, then it's simple. Nanjo was in on it, so in other words, he's on the corporate side. Which means he was never dead in the first place. We thought his body disappeared after he was killed. But what if he was never in the server room to begin with? Yeah, no, you're being trapped. So if Kumasawa disappeared, does that mean she's in on it too? That's not all! The servants who all agreed to keep to that story, Genji, Gura, even Shannon, were also in on it. And the one who stole the key from Maya's handbag was Jessica. No, it could even have been George. After all, if Shannon is on the corporate side, that automatically makes George on the corporate side. Wait a second, just wait a second. They're all wolves! They're all wolves! Not only am I drowning in an ocean of bright red blood, there are packs of wolves clamoring on the banks, whose blazing eyes tell me that they'll eat me if I crawl out. Which way should I die? Should I deny everything and drown in the bright red sea? Or should I learn the truth and have my whole body shit to bits by the wolves? It's either one hell or the other. I can't choose. Gah! Wait. Once more, I need to record this. It's the leader I started, and now I must see to it. Come, you show me a battler, a veal. Swear your eternal loyalty and lick my shoes. If you accept me, all the riddles will be resolved. In my power, any kind of closed room can be created or destroyed. That one is interesting to record. The previous ones were just boasts, right? That one's interesting. Interesting. I was speaking French for some reason. I think it's important to note that one down. Here we go. Butler, don't you want to abandon yourself to the joy of surrendering to one with power? I'll make you my favorite furniture. I love you so much and make you my toy until you turn to ashes. I know many people here who would love that. I'm not gonna lie, I know many people who would love this. You forgot to turn off red mode, Beatrice. Being bullied. God damn. Wake up, battler. It's not over yet. Get your second breath. No, it's clear. There's no longer any reason to doubt. Huh? Huh? What are you saying? You kept saying the two are dead, but they aren't here. And now we have this letter from Beatrice, where she's been kind enough to confess that she carried the corpses off. It's as simple as that. I've had enough of this farce! As Aunt Rosa yelled this, she looked at all of us with a fierce expression. What? What do you mean? By farce? I said it in Jessica's room. You can't trust anyone but yourself and those whose corpses have been found. And since we can't find the corpses of those two people, we must not accept that they've been killed. Please wait, Aunt Rosa! What do you mean by that? Dr. Nancho and Kumasawa aren't dead. They're alive. We're supposed to believe that they've been killed, but they're definitely hiding somewhere in this mansion. They can attack us. How did you know that? Are you saying that Goda and the rest are lying? Rosa-sama! Hi, Goda! No, all of you show me up servants! We all swear that nothing of the sort happened! You all said that those two were killed! Since there are no corpses, we mustn't believe you! There's a chance that you worked out a story beforehand, that you're lying! This is a good way to prove your innocence, isn't there? Kill yourself! Now! Find Dr. Nanjo's Kumasawa-san's bodies! If you can find them, then maybe I'll start listening to your story. But until you do, you cannot deny that you all are wolves. Alright, we are being 20 pull up. Gonna drink some water. God damn, I needed that. I keep forgetting to drink all the time. I just forget. You! And you! Oh, but you were all bought by that witch, but your eyes were blinded by gold. You really want money that much? That's right, isn't it? You want to live the easy life for as long as you live? What value could a life like that could possibly have? Rosa! We couldn't have! Be silent! Shouldn't. Don't get any closer. You think you'd repay your 10-year long debt of gratitude with betrayal? I'll pull the trigger without mercy. Oh! How could you? It's too cruel. Waifu Bait is not able to take this well. Waifu Bait is not handling this. Oh, Rosa! Horrible! Murder occurred in this room, and then the corporate carried the corpses away. What they're doing is allegedly reporting what they saw. True. Shannon had finally broken down in tears. She had sacrificed 10 years to the Ushiromia family. She had sacrificed 10 of the most brilliant years of her life. She believed that she built up a friendly relationship with Rosa. This was what she got in return. You can kill a person without using a knife. I didn't have to be George to realize that Shannon had been stabbed deep in the heart. That she was shedding tears like blood. Payback. Rosa, it is true that I, Gora, am not served for many years. I understand that I have not earned your trust. However, I do not believe in Shannon at least. She has sacrificed a full 10 years in service to the Ushiromia family. I'm not telling you to believe me. At the very least, don't you believe in Shannon? But even I don't understand anymore. I don't understand. We can't search for an answer without suspecting them. Yeah, bit by bit, starting to understand. What? What? I'm starting to say it's because we've been searching for an answer. That's why everything keeps going wrong. We don't need an answer. These are all strange murders, committed with bizarre magic by the 90th person, the witch Beatrice, in accordance with some creepy ceremony. Isn't that enough? I don't want to suspect anyone anymore. Shannon and Goda were protesting their innocence, half crying. Genji quietly put a stop to that. Enough! What Rosa said is quite sensible. Until we find the corpses, we cannot prove Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa's innocent. That's right. By Rosa's arguments, the corpses can be found, but the innocence of those people alone can be proven, but that only counted for the corpses. Even the survivors that you mentioned had found the corpses. In the end, their own innocence could never be proven. They kidnapped Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa, killed them in another place, and locked the closed room with their own master keys. Unless the closed room could be broken by a method other than that one, it would be impossible to prove their innocence. But that couldn't be done. They only have one chance to prove their innocence. That can only happen if they meet with the culprit, become corpses, and are then reunited with Aunt Rosa. Isn't that strange? They're innocent if they die, but guilty as long as they're alive, just like a witch trial. That's true. Alright, the enemy's a witch. Everything's cool. Is that it? Oh, who's this girl doing this creepy? Complete subject change in the middle of a giant tense moment. Slav. It's Pappy. It's her. Rosa, we're furniture in service to the Ushiromia family. Whether you trust us or not is no business of ours. No matter what assessment you give us, we will merely continue to serve until our final hour. You really are a mode of servant. I deeply understand why Father untrusts you. It really is heartrending that I must suspect even you. Genji stuck his hand into his pocket and pulled out a master key. Then he set it on a nearby table. I believe I was given this as a sign of the trust placed in me. If that trust has been lost, I think it only natural that I return it. That's a good decision. Those master keys are the main reason you've been suspected several times today. It may seem elementary to let letting go of those may clear away that suspicion. We're just not hung up on that stories and missing so many points. That's fair. If there's anything you want details on, like if there's anything you don't get, do tell. That will also jog my memory. But like, essentially right now, there's a bunch of murders all over the place. And the main guy, Butler, is in a mental fight with Beatrice, this girl, right? Main character, the witch. They're in a mental fight with her committing a bunch of murders, or at least causing a bunch of murders to happen. And everyone starts to think that it's a witch, or that like magic has to be involved because everything is weird. And Butler is like the only motherfucker here who's like, no, that's false. Stop saying this. This is not true. And right now, Rosa went off the deep end and is thinking that, like, essentially, everyone is a potential witch. But I don't think it's a bad thing. You too. Genji looked at Goda and Shannon. The two of them noted and set their own master keys on the table. Rosa laid the two master keys that had come out on the out of the envelope on top. With that, all 5 master keys were gathered in this place. In other words, this was proof that all of the servants' service until today had been negated. Even the final honor should have been permitted, stripped from them. Should play fate after this. Hell no! I've already started reading a massive, lengthy series and not doing that again. Maria, give me that handbag. Ooh, give it back! Rosa snatched Maria's handbag, thus the master keys in there, and nailed up one of them for all to see. She was showing us that she now had all the master keys. But are you satisfied now? Oh, Rosa? Now you have all the master keys. Doesn't that satisfy you? Yes, I'm satisfied. Even if I can't trust anyone else, I can at least trust myself. I've been able to get a gun and all the master keys for myself. I don't have to suspect anyone. You all are happy too. I take it. No, you don't have to be suspected anymore. But it can't be Rosa. It already was Rosa in the previous case, right? Like, I've already determined this. In the first episode, the murderer was Rosa. And she's proving that she's able to do it. But, like, it can't be her again this time around. Can it? Where was she? She was in the church with everyone else. Right. But she could have been assisted. She's been doing all the investigations all this time. Wait! Every fucking time, she was the one investigating. How did I not realize this? She's done all the investigations. She has confirmed all the bullshit. And I know that Butler came to check on a few of them. But she's been the one who checked every room. For even people who... No, it doesn't matter because the witch said in red that there was no one else. But still, if she was... No, because she doesn't have a master key in the first place. She never had a master key in the first place. So it can't be her. The only scenario where she can have done it... The only scenario where she could have done it is in the church. She may be involved in a killing in the church, but everything else is the work of Beatrice. I think that's it. I'm pretty certain. I'm thinking... I'm gonna note this down, right? Blue theory. Rosa is the one who killed them all in the church, along with Beatrice, with fake Beatrice, Let me... And they're working together. Here. On the promise of a huge amount of gold for Rosa, because she needs a lot of money right now. That's it. And you know, that kind of works with the previous case too, right? Like, okay. Let's go back really quickly to the first chapter, right? Right here. That's our first chapter. I have already guessed that it was Rosa. She already has the info, right? She could have learned. She could have gotten like the info on the ring from the fake Beatrice. I don't fucking know. I don't think the fake Beatrice was involved. I don't think the 90th person was on the island at that time around on the first episode. But it was definitely Rosa there. Everything fits if it's Rosa in the first episode. And I said Jessica solely because of one element. There's one element that would explain why it's Rosa. Wait. This entire event. I was like, yeah, I can't explain how the butterflies work, right? I was like, oh, the butterflies don't work. I don't see how they could exist. If she's in on it. If she's in on it. This entire event becomes irrelevant. And I think that's why, in the story, Beatrice herself has not put like much importance on this. Because apart from wooing you in the first place into thinking Beatrice is real, the fake Beatrice is real, it would naturally put the blame on Rosa, right? Saying, oh yeah, Rosa purposefully said that all of this happened because Maria had her eyes closed. The only one who saw this were the fake one and Rosa. This is the only act of magic in the entire episode that has been directly seen. Besides, you know, all of this. But like, all the people who saw that are dead, so it doesn't matter. If all the people who see the act of magic are dead, it doesn't matter. So like, to me, it absolutely is Rosa along with the 90th person Beatrice working together, right? Two of them could possibly have killed all of them. I can't imagine this happening, right? Okay. Yeah, and we could just have worked out all of this together, right? And Rosa would have extremely easy ability to go see Maria and say, hey, Maria, can you pass me the... No. No, she could not have this ability because Maria is... What's the word? Because Maria would not let Rosa take it out of her bag, no matter what. But still, no, to me... Rosa, we don't even know what she needs money for. We just know that she's like in deep shit. And she made a lot of promises to dangerous people. Right? So like... If this was the case, this would explain how this could have happened, right? With Rosa and Beatrice doing this, this explains this event, this explains this murder, because, like, to some degree, I mean, no, at this point, Rosa's job is just to, like, secure the murderer and, like, lead everyone down the wrong path, which is what she's doing. Like, she's here to sow discord. I'm just realizing this. Rosa does not have to kill anyone. Rosa has to get everyone to not trust each other and then, like, you know, separate. Right? If Rosa does this, everyone else becomes easy prey for the 90 person, because they're all gonna separate from the main group. Right now, I bet you, within like the first 100 lines, Rosa is gonna tell someone to fuck off from the group, and they're gonna go get killed. And then we're gonna find their corpses, and then someone else is gonna get killed. Because Rosa pushed them away. I think that's so Rosa is an accomplice in this. Rosa helped with the church, then is sowing doubt and bullshit amongst the group in order to separate people and make easy picking for the murderer, Beatrice. 90 person, an old servant. We've stolen the master key. Not master key. Right, that's it for me. That's it. That's my theory. You'll note that, like, when was Natsui leading the group in the previous episodes, Natsui was actively protecting everyone, and even when there was doubt, at no point in time, right, the only time where she freaked out and kicked out people was when she had somewhat definitive proof that the murderer, or at least an accomplice of the murderer, was in the room. Here, Rosa is just freaking out all over the place. At any mention, she's going, oh yeah, everyone's evil, everyone's evil. She has no actual proof that in this very room there is an accomplice besides suspicion and doubt. Yet, she acts like this. Natsui, who is undoubtedly a good person, never did this. No, Rosa is definitely evil. Rosa is on it. Rosa is in on it, and the fact that she has a gun, it's the biggest mistake they could have done. Alright, let's get back into it. This entire single event changed my entire perspective on this. Rosa is definitely involved, and makes too much sense. That time, Maya, who alone seemed to be watching this as though it were a show, sneered at her mother. Rosa reacted nervously to that laugh and turned around. I go now. Thank you for the stream. Glad to support a friend. Thank you for passing by, George. I'm glad you enjoyed the stream. Have a good one, mate. And yeah, thanks for the support. These don't have anything to do with this. Beatrice can open doors with magic. He doesn't need keys. It doesn't matter who was or doesn't have something like that. Don't I always tell you to stop laughing like that? She turns the gun around, shoots Maria. This will teach you to keep laughing like that. Now you won't laugh anymore. What is it, Battler? I had just got in between the two of them. No, that's not it. I was on my knees and hugging Maria's head. I was crying.
もう
Just stop it already, Aunt Rosa. Maya was right.
何を
What are
言
you
ってい
talking
るの
about?
マリア
Maria,
を疑って
I'm sorry
悪かった
for doubting. I'm
信
sorry
じなくて悪かった
for not believing.
バトラ
Butler,
全部
was all
魔女の
The
仕
witch is
業だ
doing.
魔女の
the witch is
仕業だったんだよ
No! Butler! Wake the fuck
ト
up!
リックとかミス
All
と
that stuff about tricks and closed rooms didn't matter.
ただ
It's just... Oh,
ベア
fuck.
トリーチ本当に魔女だった
But the witch Beatrice actually exists. And she's really a witch. And because I didn't believe.
俺は信じなかったからこんなにも
It's been so painful. It's so sad.
悲しくて
バトラは
My goodness,
ベ
what?
アトリーチェを信じてくれる
You believe in Beatrice?
ああ
Yes,
信
I
じる
believe
ベアトリーチェを
Beatrice exists.
そして
And she's a witch who uses this strange magic.
バトラ
Butler! I let go of my hand. I thought she was the one holding my hand.
それでいいんだよ
That's enough,
ベア
Butler.
トリーチェは
Beatrice existed. Holy shit, Maria, pop off!
バトラが
You had so much trouble believing, so you couldn't see her.
魔女はいる
Witches
んだ
exist. They
もう
exist.
すぐ
And will come soon. You believe in Beatrice, so you will surely be invited to the Golden Land.
もうすぐ
It's soon now.
も
It will happen very soon.
怖くない
There's nothing to be afraid of anymore.
怖くないよ
There's no need to be afraid, okay? Stay with me and join, okay?
一緒に
Let's think about the riddle of the epitaph together. Let's think about Vito's puzzle. Vito has been saying it from the beginning. He hasn't said anything other than let's play and solve this puzzle.
あ
Right, she did.
あ犯人探し
Searching for the culprit was just a waste of
俺
time.
たちは
If only we had just believed in
信じればよかったんだ
the witch. After gently brushing my cheek as my tears kept dripping down, Maya kissed my forehead, as soft as a feather. For just that instant, Maya's smile, which had once seemed creepy to me, looked like that of an angel. Wake the fuck up, Butler! We have returned the master keys, but our loyalty to the Yoshimiya family will not change. From now on, we will not enter the parlor without permission. Rosa, please lock the parlor from the inside.
本当に首相な
You're truly an admirable person. When the typhoon passes, if the cries of seagulls return to be silent again, I wonder if we'll be able to trust each other once more. If you were to grant us your trust once again, there could be no greater pleasure.
そうね
I see.
私たちは
We'll
必ず
definitely
分か
be
り
able
合
to
える
understand each other
海猫の泣く
when the seagulls cry. Holy shit, she said it! It would probably be best if we left this room as it is until the police come. Rosa, if you could please lock it. We will return to the kitchen. If you need anything, please command us at any time.
ありがとう
Thank
あ
you.
なたが王
If you are a
な
wolf,
んて
how
小さい
shamelessly you
子供な
speak.
のかそしてあなた
And if you are a sheep,
あなたを
then I'm sorry for throwing you into the cage of wolves.
ごめん
Your only true interest is faith to the family. If I could regain your trust by giving up this life of mine, I would consider it a great honor.
できることな
I
ら
hope you all manage to remain safe until the typhoon passes.
台風
Such a
これ
thing
は
is
全
possible.
て
This is all a rhapsody of blowing winds and pouring rain performed by the
演
typhoon.
奏が終われ
When the performance ends and the curtain
私たち
closes,
は
we will surely be able to grasp hands together again
海猫
when
の
the seagulls cry.
泣く頃に
She said it! Umineko no Nakukoro ni! She said it! Holy shit! She said it again! She said it again, award! Putting it right there. Rosa nodded in response. Genji turned on his heels. He left the servant room. Galat's face was still streaked with tears, but maybe he managed to sort out his feelings as he listened to Genji's words. His face had been truly shameful. The amount of title drops in a piece of media is directly proportional to its thickness. True! Extremely true. Extremely true. This is why Your Turn to Die was only relatively peak. It only dropped It's Your Turn to Die like twice only. This has dropped Umineko no Nakukurani like what? 5 times per episode? Maybe more? It's only episode 2. I've already heard it so many fucking times. Return to the face of the good ascent we knew well.
私も
I will also be waiting in the kitchen.
何かござい
If
ま
you
した
need anything, please command me at any time.
お嫁温かい
If you wish for some warm food, Guda,
いつで
we'll
も
have the very best prepared for you.
最高の
ありがとう
Thank you. I can't wait for your breakfast tomorrow. And the boat will probably come by midday tomorrow. Thanks for everything up until now. Your cooking was my only pleasure on Rokkenjima.
かしこまりました
Certainly.
このゴーダ
I, Goda, will prepare a supreme breakfast.
どうか
Please
明
look
日の
forward to
朝を
tomorrow
楽しみに
morning.
してください
ありがとう
Thank you.
シャノンちゃん
And Shannon,
明日の朝
tomorrow morning, let's make up and have some delicious coffee. I bet you the corpses are going to be inside of the parlor, which is gonna make it hard for them to find a safe place.
ジョージ君
George,
僕も
I'm going with
彼ら
them.
と一緒に行く
いいんです
It's alright,
ジョー
George.
ジ様
Wait. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right, so right now we're at the 6th twilight, so there needs to be 3 dead. If there are 3 dead, that means 1, 2, 3, 4. And everyone else right there. So 3 of the 4. Oh my god! No, if whoever George goes with is the group that survives. If Butler, Maria, and Rosa stay together, they're all dead. If those 3 stay together, they're dead. Because there's only 3 people left before they die. And we just need to complete the 6th, 7th, and 8th. So whoever, maybe George and the Scorpion Sham, true, but like whichever group George goes with is the group that survives. Right now, George is the sole factor in deciding who survives here. It's alright, George. Please return to the parlor. There are no more master keys. So if you're with Rosa in the parlor, you won't be threatened by anyone.
誰にもそうね
You're right.
そういうことに
So things have sorted themselves out, isn't it? Objectively speaking, I'd say you'll be safer staying with me in the
一番
parlor.
安全だと思うわ
Why not everyone? If you're the only one with a key and a gun,
でも
but I won't force you to stay with us. George, you may stay in any place you feel is safe.
ジョージ君ももう
You're already an
明
adult.
日の朝
It's up to you where and with whom you spend the time until tomorrow
誰
morning.
と過ごそうと
そうさ
Yes,
僕は
I will
誰
decide
と夜を過
with
ご
whom I'll
す
spend this night. Aniki,
バトラ君は
Butler.
ロ
Stay
ー
with
ザ
Rosa in the
おばさ
parlor.
んとそれが
I'm sure you'll be safest there. Everywhere outside the parlor is dangerous in comparison. So I can't leave her in a place like that alone. Butler, Maria, and Rosa dead. Okay. We're all dead. It's not like I suspect Shannon and the other servants. Or anyone at all. I don't want to suspect anyone. The inheritance? The gold? It's all nothing. There's no way people are killing each other over things like that.
バトラ
Yes.
君の心が
Now, better than anyone, I'm sure you are this,
誰
Butler.
も
No one will blame you.
誰も
No one. Aniki!
大丈夫
It's alright. I'll protect you, Butler. If you're with me, even Beatrice won't be able to lay a hand on you.
マリアは
I may be spoiled, but I'm still a witch.
魔女だもの
Yes.
マリアちゃん
Maria,
バトラ君
I'm
は
leaving Butler in your care.
さ
Alright, let's go.
はい
Yes, Rosa, if you'll
それ
excuse
はご
me.
用命がご
If
ざ
you
い
have
ま
an
し
order, please call me at any
た
time.
いつでもおよ
I'm sorry for saying
さ
something
っき
so
は
cruel
明日
just
の
now.
朝まで許せ
I
な
don't
かった
expect you to forgive me until tomorrow morning. But when tomorrow morning
明
comes,
日の朝になったら
let me apologize again.
もう
Yes,
ありがとうございます
thank you very much. George and Shannon left the servant room together. Now, only Maya, Rosa, and I were left in this disgusting, blood-stained room. Till Genji disappeared, until Goda disappeared, till George and Shannon disappeared, we stood there, shocked. After their presence and their footsteps had completely disappeared, Rosa giggled, as though she just remembered something pleasant. You can't trust them for a moment.
何も信用できないわよ家具どもが
Damn furniture! That one sentence made me choke. What are you?
なんでそんなことを言うんだ
Something like that? Butler,
マ
Papa.
スターキーは5つで全部
No, wait, Rosa, Papa! Wait, Rosa! Rosa's waking the fuck up! There are 5 master keys, you know? Who would believe that? It's obvious that some duplicate keys exist. You could trust them just because they pulled keys out of their pockets. Never mind. Never mind, she doesn't have it the right way around. Never mind, she doesn't get it. I thought she got my logic. But no, she's just dumb in the end. Sitting on the skis, or just letting go of them. You've made all their hard work come for nothing. This great temple that, and in the end, you make them give up their keys. What's with that parting line? They've shown that they're willing to go this far and you still don't trust them? Too much. That's just too much. It's the devil's proof. There are 5 master keys in all. It's impossible to prove something like that. You can show that there are 5 master keys by collecting them here. But you can't prove that no more than 5 exist. Only a demon or a witch could prove something like that, right? Okay. My entire theory up until now revolves on this very moment. My entire theory rests upon this. Please, Beatrice, stop it already, stop it already! Thanks, Beatrice, show yourself right now. That Rose and Red, there are only 5 master keys. Please, I beg you, can really prove by devils, by a witch like you. Please, Bito, show yourself here. That Rosa does all the master keys. There's no need to suspect anyone anymore. Fuck me. God damn it. Ah. God damn it. I was so sure I had it. There are only 5 master keys. Be tricked. True. I'm so fucked. I'm cooked. Here we go. Alright, we're finishing episode 2 today. How long is it until episode 2 ends? Filippo? No matter how often I stay, I won't reach most of years. After all, I think there's still someone who denies that I exist, right? You sure me a battler? I accept it! I accept it! You exist, you definitely exist! Begging you, stop this already! Stop it already! Stop it already! Say it once we are at the 2-hour mark. The thing is, right? I'm gonna stop at the 2-hour mark because I can't keep streaming. Oh, fuck. Thank you. I can't keep streaming non-stop. But like, next stream, which should be Thursday, either Thursday or Wednesday, I decide. I'm gonna decide. I'll do all of it in one go, right? So I'm gonna stop. If you think there won't be enough content for... There's like the Witch Tea Party too. There's a Tea Party and the Witch Tea Party to do. So it's definitely gonna take like one more stream, I think. So I think like you can stop in like 30 minutes. Come on, Butler, my goat! Wake up! I'll have to think about all my theories again. Now that I know there are only 5 master keys. Words alone are not enough. Sure of your actions. Swear from your heart that you will become my furniture. Can you do it? Take off your clothes, be naked, then put your hands on the ground and crawl. Nothing is proof of one's humanity. From now on, you will become furniture. Then it's only natural that you will lose that right. Then kneel, let your tongue crawl on my shoes. Can you do it? You can do it, right? When you do, I'll appear inside in red. On that road that there are only 5 master keys. Oh, but of course you'll never abandon that lonely cry of yours. You've done well. You've done more than enough. You're starting to get that tingly feeling, aren't you? For just an instant, you thought maybe licking my shoes wouldn't be so bad, didn't you? And you immediately denied that and felt ashamed, right? This looking at your expression feels just heavenly. That face of yours is so pathetic, so go look in the mirror. You'll see how low you are, naked and licking my shoes, right? Ricky Beatrice, holy shit. Can you see it? Cheer me up, Adler. God. What happened? The fuck happened with the audio file there? But that's so much time. Wait, no, it ends in 6 hours from now. Right. Okay. Genuine question, Polpo, since you know, should I stop here and keep the rest for like a 3-hour, 4-hour long stream next time? Because that could be a good point to stop right there. And what I'm gonna do is, I've got the VOD from last time that lasts 1 hour. I'm gonna edit it together with this VOD to make one long 2-hour, 30 minutes long VOD. And then yeah, next time I'll stop. And next time should be the last time. And that will also give me the ability to think about all of this shit for a bit, right? Because right now, my main theory got shattered, and I need time to think about it. If I was playing this solo, I would probably like have stopped Umineko for a bit and rethought everything. Because that one single line right there fucked everything up. That one single line ruined this theory, right? That ruined this theory. I still think it could be an old servant. I still think it being an old servant makes sense. This still makes sense, it's Rosa. Right? I'm just gonna not do that. Okay, so like, it means I gotta solve the closed rooms. I gotta think about the closed rooms, right? I gotta think about them again. However, it does not change the method of the killings. If Rosa is the accomplice, which very possible, again, I do believe it. This explains this first event, which I think is the most meaningful one. Maria has her eyes closed, so she's not a witness. The only witness is Maria, and she says it like it's a certainty that it's a wish, right? Rosa and Maria meet inside. Rosa and Beatrice meet inside of the chapel with everyone else. Which, by the way, is the reason this has not been brought up. Because Rosa does not want to tell anyone that she met with a fake Beatrice there. Because instantly, all the doubt will go on to her. How does she know there even is a gun? Without someone telling her. Because she never went inside Kinza's study. Pretty sure. I don't know. Okay, that is a reach. That is a reach. But still, that explains the second one, right? Because she could have very easily gone and grabbed the key, right? It's not impossible to do that. She could have worked in conjunction with the fake Beatrice. This was already solved. You could just take out the envelope. Second murder with this. This makes no sense. I have no fucking idea what's going on. All I do know, right, is this thing about the knife. The blood being on the back, yet the blood stain being on the front. They were stabbed in the stomach. The corpse was not turned around because they did not want to, like, alter the crime scene, right? But if she got stabbed in the back, why is the blood below her? Why is there no blood on her back? Right? You would expect more blood to be there. She was stabbed in the front by someone she didn't know. The only case, right, I still believe that makes sense. The only issue right there now is who the fuck did they know about the door being locked, right? There's two ways. One is Rosa would try to open it first, at which point she could have faked the door being locked. No, it's not possible, because it's another servant who pulled out master keys. So Jessica's keys were still in the room. Rosa was with everyone all the time. Oh my god, this has completely... Okay. At the start of episode 2, they said this was going to be a tough case, and I see it now. Fuck. Well, wrap it up, everyone. The witch is real. The witch is real. I have no fucking idea about any of this, by the way. The whole Nanjo plus Koma. The fact that, like, we saw the murder happen with Canon, I cannot even begin to explain what happened with Canon. Like, I could not explain this in the first place, right? Let alone Canon coming back from the dead, becoming a zombie, and then evaporating into dust. There is still no info about servant room keys. There is still no info. Like, it is still possible to have done copies of, like, fucking... What's the word? Wait. Let me check. There is with Jessica's single key or the master keys, only one of which is held by each servant. Okay. Yeah, I'll need to think about this. I'll need to think about this in detail. I'm gonna spend a lot of time thinking about it. This fucked me up. I want to come to an answer before I end episode 2. I want to have, like, an answer, something to point to, right? Like I did with episode 1. Episode 1, Rosa with an accomplice to some degree. Where I think the only thing the accomplice did was tell them about the scorpion charm being on that Swiss door. Right? That's the only thing. That's my guess for episode 1. It was a pretty easy solve, right? Pretty sure that's the case. Episode 2 completely ruined my entire theory right at the end with one sentence. And I assume that's what they planned, right? I still think it could be Rosa. I don't know who the other person could be. Again, it's a lack of blood stains all over the place. They always never describe the blood, which is like an important part of this. Right now, only thing I'm using is the picture. The picture shows no blood on the back. But maybe that's wrong. Maybe that's wrong. And I'm on the wrong track there. But still, I need to figure out how they locked the doors. And I could go on. I don't know. The issue is with this door, right? It's about the same thing with Jessica's door. They showed it. There was one key inside, 2 keys inside. Was 2 key. And 4 keys outside, right? It was locked. There was no one hiding in the room. No one is hiding in the room. That's a pretty important one. Maybe it's Jessica, but like that is way too far-fetched. Kennen is dead. This is tough. This not white on red is a trap, clearly. If you spin the chessboard around, right? We're like, I don't know where you would start flipping it. They enter the room, leaves the door being left unlocked because that's what Jessica already does. Jessica always leaves the room unlocked. They made the point of saying that because she's like trusting or something. She leaves the door unlocked. Cannon comes in to comfort her. They both die because like a third person comes in and kills them. Right? Then the third person, they're inside that room at that point. There are 2 master keys. They have no key. That's the important part. They have no key at that point in time. So, do they manage to get out, weave the corpse? Like, the issue is they took the corpse too of Cannon with them. Jessica is certainly dead. Maybe like unless she has a way to fake being dead, which feels like okay, no, wait. If Jessica has a way to fake being dead in the first place, this becomes somewhat solved, right? Because she could have servant room key. No, it doesn't. No, it does not. It's not Jessica. It's not Jessica. Like it can't be Jessica. So who the fuck do they lock that room? I see no way. Like the only way you have that locked that room is from the inside, which is not possible because no one is hiding. And everyone that was in that room is everyone that is in the group, right? Or from the outside. In which case, where did the key come from? And the thing is, it's not like you can use a lockpick, you can't use a weird thing, right? No trick could have been used to lock the door from outside without using a key. What do we call a master key? What do they call a master keys? Wait! I've always been assuming the fact that it's only part of this same group of keys. No, wait! I'm realizing you could just have made doubles. You could have just no, wait, no, that's exactly what she fixed by saying this, right? She did talk about the fact that there are no duplicate keys. Or that there can't be duplicate keys. That's something she made a point of saying. That's what they mean by there are only 5 master keys, right? Because like there are only 5 master keys. It doesn't have to be. If someone made double, it would not classify as a master key. It would just classify as like, you know, fake keys or something. I don't know. This feels like a stretch. This feels like too much. But this would explain the entire case. If it's an old servant, again, I'm pretty sure it's an old servant, which is like what makes most sense. It's an old servant who came around and in the past already made doubles of every key. But no, that's not possible. The only way to lock this door is with just a single key or the master keys, only one of which is held by each servant. So no, it's not. It's not that because it's master keys. They do use the term master keys here. So even with the takeoff, it's an old servant actually, so there's an extra master key. No, there are only 5. So it's not that, it's not duplicate. What the fuck? What the fuck? What in the fuck am I supposed to... I would like to throw in the towel. At that point, at that exact point, I would like to say, fuck that, we'll get more information later on. Let's keep reading, right? But I can't. Because this specific place, right there, I am almost certain they've given all the information about Jessica's case that you could acquire. They've given all information about it that matters. And I still can't solve it. Every possibility has been taken care of. But no way, like even with Beatrice's magic, this is fake. How the fuck could Beatrice fix it with her magic? What the fuck does this mean? No trick could have the effect of locking the door from the outside. Does Beatrice just go fucking invisible? But no, she can't go invisible because the only person in that room are the fucking guys there. And it's not, all the servants are not in on it. That makes no sense. Why would all the servants be in on it? And even if they were, the only scenario where it makes sense by saying that like they're all in on it is if all the servants are like working with Jessica specifically, right? But it can't. Like I already said at this, I was joking about, oh, like, you know, it's Jessica and they look exactly the same, right? But it's not the case. It's not the case. Or it could. Is there a way to make yourself look dead? Even in passing to like novices and like a doctor? Because I assume the first thing they did was check for pulse. But if there's a way to bypass that, if there's a way to fake your pulse, sure be a hell. Like, okay, no, if there's a way to check for that, because like, okay, that would explain the blood thing. Wait, that would explain the blood thing. Because if she was stabbed in the back, blood on the front, on the stomach, you could just assume that like she put blood there really quickly and like she made a fake stabbing in the back, right? This does not even look like it's planted deep inside her back. They never confirmed that Jessica was killed in this room. She made a point of saying that Kenan was killed in a room, but not Jessica. Because, like, if Jessica killed Kenan, and then she would have had assistance from someone else. If she had assistance from... If she had assistance from a second person, right? This would explain everything. Beatrice is right. If you assume Jessica is still alive and pretending, everything makes sense. But it's too cheap. But it's the only solution I have. It is the only solution I see. Because, okay, let's put ourselves in the shoes of someone completely unrelated to all of this. They arrive, see Kenan and Jessica having a strong makeout session. They kill both. They find themselves stuck. They can't do anything. Because both keys are still inside the room and they can't lock it. Boom. The hypothesis of a unknown person unrelated to anyone in the story is gone. That one is already gone. Second hypothesis, right? It's Jessica herself or Kenan. No, it can't be Kenan either. It's Jessica herself. At that point, Jessica could have dressed up everything, could have locked the door from inside, could have, you know, disguised everything. Could have disguised Kenan's corpse? What if... No. I was about to say, what if that corpse was Kenan disguised as Jessica, but that is such a reach, and it's already false. It's already false. Like, that would imply, all the theory is nice and all, but that would either imply that all the servants are in on it, including Butler, or Jessica has a way to make herself look dead. Which I have no fucking idea how you would do that. I do not know a way, IRL, that you would be able to just make yourself dead for like a temporary moment. Right? So, besides that, if it's not Jessica, if it's that servant that I'm talking about, the servant arrives, kills Jessica. This might be stupid, but what if he convinced Jessica to kill herself? No. Yes? No. No, because if I was like, maybe she convinced Jessica and Kenan to kill themselves, with Kenan stabbing Jessica in the back, then Kenan stabbing himself in the front, but that would still mean you would need to drag out Kenan's corpse. And you could not do that without locking the door after. Bro, doing Deep Lord of Breakdowns. This shit is breaking me. This fucking series is breaking me. I swear to God, I need to fucking solve this. I need to solve this shit. I want to solve this shit. It's already been like 30 fucking minutes that I've been thinking about this. Which makes me, I'm surprised you guys have stayed around for all of this. Thank you. But like, I don't see a way for all this to work out without Jessica being able to disguise herself as dead. You could surrender now and try later. That's what I'm thinking of doing for now. But the issue is, right, that I'm not gonna get any extra info. Obviously, at one point, I will. Obviously, at one point, the story will come out and say, this is what happened, this is how they did it. Bravo, you didn't figure it out, I just told you, right? That's what the story will say, that's what the story will do. I don't want that. I don't think it's as fun as trying to figure it out right now. Right? Like, what's the point of reading a murder mystery story if you're just gonna read it or not even try to solve it? And I feel like I can solve it. That's the issue right here, right? I feel like I can solve it. Those are not set up in ways so complicated that it feels impossible to solve. Let me reread all the red text. Let me reread all the red text, please. Give me a second. I'm gonna do one more reread, see if I get anything new, and then probably stop if I don't. What about the window? Fuck. What about the window? All this fucking time. This would be how they disposed of Cannon's corpse too. Every time it's focused on the fucking door. What about the window? She points out the window, right? Every time she says, the only way in and out, Balor, is the door and the window. Like, every fucking time, the window is like mentioned, in passing. What is this? What is this? Every time the Red Truth makes a point of including the window, every time it can avoid mentioning the window, it does. Every time it cannot avoid mentioning it, it doesn't. The Red Truth always mentions the fucking window when it has to. Right? Like, look. Of course, this door, and it focuses on the door, on the door, on the door. And then when it has to say, when it has to talk about, like, door is the only way in or out, it does mention there is a window. It has to mention it. What about the window? But that would be false. The Red Truth itself would be false if it says this door is the only way in or out. If it was a dot, right? But I think it's a comma there. Yeah, it's a comma. Because this is a dot. Yeah, there's no way to get in or out other than the door and the windows. So, if there is a trick to close the window from outside and make it look like it's from inside, if there is such a trick, then it makes everything so much easier for this case. Yeah, that intro didn't lie. Because, like, if it's a window, you could easily push cannon out, right? And that would explain why there's no blood stain on the floor that leads outside, right? Because you would assume being stabbed in the stomach would spread blood everywhere. But it didn't. There's only blood inside the room. Because he was thrown out the window. That would be the easy way to get rid of that corpse. Even if the door is used for everything else, right? Even if the person left through the door and everything, right? Then throwing cannon out the window is like practically the most obvious choice. There's no, even if you want to set up this room, no sentient person would not think about throwing cannon out the window. It's easiest. So cannon's thrown out the window, right? And then either the person leaps through the window, which is possible, by finding a way to lock it from the outside and make it look like it's locked from the inside. But how the fuck would you do that, right? You would have to invent a new method of locking the door from the inside, from the outside. Something that has not been established in any way, shape, or form. So it feels wrong to say that's the solution. Door is the only way in and out. And then you look down. There is no way to get in or out other than the door and the windows. Polopo. Look below. Unless it turns out it was wrong. Right? Unless it turns out it was wrong. Right here. Motherfucker came from the chimney. That would explain it. That would explain it. You know what? That would explain it. The door isn't the only way in or out. There are the windows. Like, that is objectively not true. Like, this door is the only way in or out. It's false, because I could just open the window and leave through the window. You could, like, it would be true, but, like, you can just, it's extremely easy to break a window, like, fucking fist, and that creates a new way out instantly. So that sentence is false if you do not include the window. Right? The window. It's the window. The key to this one is the window. There's a way to lock it from outside and make it look like it was locked from inside. But how? Again, it's too easy to say this. How was it locked from the inside? Imagine the scenario, okay? Picture this with me. Kitsune, don't worry. That part is somewhat already covered because it's made a point that the door was already unlocked from the get-go. The kid, Jessica, who owns the room, is way too trusting and leaves the door open all the time. The interesting part is that the door got locked after. Right? That's the part that matters. The door was locked after. Because before it wasn't. So it doesn't matter before. All they entered is not an issue. They can enter any way they want. As far as we care, they entered through the fucking chimney. Yeah, no, you got all the main info here. Everything that's in red is the info you have. Don't worry. The only thing I'm focusing on is the red info, because red means absolute truth, and anything else that is said is subject to doubt, so it could just be bullshit. But if The door is not the same as the chapel. No, when it said this, it's just when she said the door is the same as the chapel, it's in terms like repeating exactly what was said about the chapel. Of course, it does not permit entry. Yeah, because like the original thing was like, oh yeah, it's locked, therefore I can unpick it. I can pick it. But like the window, also the fuck do you get through there? My issue is I don't see how you could even lock it from inside, from outside, because it's locked from inside. Again, if Jessica had a way to make herself look dead, everything is solved. For this part. Because the next part, where Kenan turns into a zombie, is a bit more shaky, to be honest. I will admit that the part where Kenan turned into a zombie was a bit of a reach. But, you know, maybe zombies are real in this universe. Maybe they're human things. Maybe outside there's a zombie apocalypse. Who fucking knows? The zombie apocalypse defeated by spiders. Apparently. I have no idea what the fuck happened with that section. I'm not gonna lie. I have no idea what all of that meant. What the fuck was up with that? Only one of which is held by each other. Yeah, only there's only one key. The Jessica key was already inside the room on the nightstand. That's where the Jessica key was. The master key was on Canon who died, and 4 of them were on the other servants. The text kind of confusing, that's the point. It's objective truths, but it's obviously phrasing things weirdly on purpose. Like, as you can see at the top, the only master keys is one held by servants, 1 key each. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. If the window is locked from the inside, that means it was locked before Rosa and the rest entered with a shotgun. Can you draw Battler? Sure. Give me a second. I can draw him. Here we go. My masterpiece. The butler crying. Actually, wait, that solved the case. That Butler solves the case. I realize it now. I understand it now. Could the window lock be armed? That is a good theory, right? But like then it would not describe it as lock itself. It would not be described as locked from the inside. It would describe it as locks itself. The reason why they're doing it where they can't hide, because that was already the solution in episode 1, right? In episode 1, wait. In episode 1, right there, the solution to this was already that Rosa was hiding inside the room, somewhere inside the room, maybe under a bed or something. They barely checked here. And then waited and left. I already went into details about what I think went down here. Like, I have a whole fucking paragraph after about all of those were done right there, right? Entire episode 1, I'm pretty sure I solved it. Maybe Red Truth will come and ruin it, but I'm pretty sure I solved it. So, like, one thing I forget is the fact that she was stabbed in the front, right? Which means that the person who entered, they did not necessarily trust. They tried to make it look as if the person who entered trusted them. I think that's important to note. They tried to make it look as if the person who entered the room was a person who Jessica trusted. Which is why the whole thing about stabbing them in the back, stabbing them in the front, then flipping them around and stabbing in the back again. Right? This disguised it perfectly. Oh, does Butler come to play? Butler is just a detective. Butler does not do anything besides solve the case. Butler is just like the crime solver. That's all he does. I think, okay, I'm realizing it's been like 40 minutes that I've been terrorizing on this. I think it's time that I move on until I just think about it, like, by myself. And then, like, I come back, I don't know, tomorrow or something. Maybe I talk about it on the Discord. But this is the type of thing where, like, if I keep going here, I need to rethink things through. This is, okay, let's be clear. This is the type of shit where I'm gonna go to sleep and I'm gonna still be thinking about this fucking thing. I will still be thinking about this when I'm going to sleep. This is pissing me off. What fucking solution is there besides fucking teleporting out of the room? Like, the only fucking way I see is locking the door from inside, throwing Cannon out the window, and then teleporting out of the room. Did they close? They checked everywhere, yeah. Without love, it cannot be seen. Wait. Wait. I think I'm onto something, but okay, this is not certain. Polopo is just recording something they say constantly. The series love. Yeah, it's a meme in Umineko. About without love, you cannot see magic. Essentially, without loving magic, you cannot see magic. That's the phrase they drop constantly, which is why, like, yeah, you can't see Beatrice because without love, it can't be seen, right? And like, even if Kindle thinks he has love, it doesn't, which is why he can't see Beatrice at all. Can see her IRL because you have too much love for her. But oh wait, I was into something for a second. I got myself lost. About loving the killer, you can't see the killer. True. But okay, yeah, no. I already said Rosa was an accomplice. What if? Okay, hear me out. Rosa enters the room first. Rosa searches around the room first, right? And that's her first fucking instinct. Everyone else was still too shocked at the murder. First fucking thing she does is look around the room. You will note, pretty please, it never said the window was locked from the inside. Rosa entered the room, locked the window. Because the killer left through it, and she's covering their tracks. The killer took Cannon's corpse out the window, threw themselves out the window. There's the whole thing about stabbing Jessica in the stomach, putting Jessica on the stomach with the blood dripping out, and Alpha kind of like stabbing her in the back again, but like barely, because that's why the knife barely sticks out. Then they ate out the window. Which one is more restrictive? Both. The only way to get in or out the door and the windows, then the door is a thing. When locked, it does not permit any form of entry. I don't think. Does not permit any form of entry. Yeah, from the door, right? Or is that... I do not mind if you clarify this. When it says when locked, it does not permit any form of entry. Does it include... Does it mean permit any form of entry from the door? Or permit any form of entry at all? Like any form of entry? Because if it does not, if it was referring to the door only, which I think it does, right? Like if we compare it to the chapel. No. When the door is locked, it prevents any and all methods of entry or exit. That's what was said about the chapel. I think that's more restrictive. Like again, like the best solution I have right now would be that Rosa came and like swiped everything. Like swiped all the traces of the killer being here. Right? Does the chapel have other forms of entry and exit? No idea. Oh, wait, no. Wait, you're talking about the chapel? No, the chapel is already solved. The chapel is already solved, don't worry. Chapel does not have any form of entry. They all went through the door, but the way they went through the door was because someone stole the key and then placed it back. That's it. That was already solved. If you want to see, all the VODs are on YouTube, by the way. But yeah, they all solved this instantly. They just use the chapel key after putting it in a safe place. There was a window, but you couldn't enter it. You couldn't enter through it. But like, I don't know. Again, okay, I think I'm gonna stay there. When it says the door is the only way in or out, I'm pretty sure it only refers to the door. In which case, if it only refers to the door, then the best theory I have is they threw Cannon out the window, they threw themselves out the window, Rosa came by, locked it again, and then it's the other case, in which case, yeah, see, there's also another window every fucking time. There's a window. The door and the window do not permit any kind of entry or exit when they are locked. Yeah. That one I still need to think about, but I'm not gonna think about it because it already took me like 40 minutes to come out to an answer for this. And I kept going around in circles. There's a window, more like there's a Linux. True, Gucci Pants, true. It's not ground floor. I know, but that doesn't mean you can't jump. There's bushes all over. Cannon was like covered in mud. Cannon was covered in mud. But true, okay, no, true. At least, okay, I can at least assume that Cannon was thrown out the window. That is just obvious. But then that means the person left through another method, and that I do not know. And I'm gonna stop there for now. I'll think about it more on my own, right? And again, this is next time is going to be the last episode to do streams. By the way, very surprised that like people actually showed up this time around. Very happy. I thought no one would show up anymore. But that's cool. I'll try and see if there's still interest for episode 3. In which case, I might do it. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. I'll need to think about this more, and I will. Trust me, I will. I'm really enjoying this story. I don't know if you can see it, hear it, or like understand it, but it's so fucking good. It's great. You'll show up for Yumi. Hi, Mac. Yeah, fair enough. I'm gonna be editing the last VOD and this one together, and I'll upload both of them. This is when I back him and cry. True. All right. So this is going to be it. Thank you everyone for coming. Have a good night, and I hope I can fucking solve this. Bye.